Hello, welcome to another Writerly Witterings. My name's Michael Jecks. I'll say now, don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoy this and other videos. Do hit the subscribe button, hit the bell beside it and all that sort of stuff. And then any comments you want to add, chuck them in the bottom as well. And having got that out of the way, today I thought I'd just give a quick summary of the 5 things you really should not ever say to an author. Why? Well, let's go through the list. I've not done these in any particular order. I might come to an order later when I've actually spoken about them. But the first thing, you meet an author at a party or a small gathering and you say, "Oh, what do you do?" And usually the author will say, "Well, I'm a sort of writer." And they say, "Pardon?" You say, I'm a writer, a novelist." And then the first thing somebody says, "Oh, will I have read your book?" Now that is clearly something that you would know if you'd read his or her book, because you'd recognise the face or you would recognise the name, ideally. Sometimes this is compounded with the second one you shouldn't ever say to a writer, which is, do you use your own name? As in, you must use a pseudonym because I've never heard of you. No, that doesn't work well. Most authors would be more than happy with someone who says, "Oh, I've never actually read any of your books," where it would be a good place to start. That would work better. Saying, "Do you use your own name or do you write under a pseudonym?" That just means, "Well, I've never heard of you." Those are 2 nice and quick ones. Worse than those 2 is the one who says, "Well, of course I've read all your books second-hand." Let me give an example of this. I was called several years ago now by a good charity to go and open a bookstore for them, and I wasn't particularly thinking at the time, so I said, "Oh right, okay, yeah, and where is it?" And they said, "It's in..." Oh, I'd hide it. They said, "It's in Oxford." I said, "Oh, that's fine." I said, "That's a long way from Dartmoor though, so would you be able to cover my travelling expenses?" "Oh no, sorry, we're a charity." I said, "Right. So would there be a fee for doing this?" "Oh no, we're a charity, we'd expect you to do it for free." "Okay." I said, "Well, it is several hundred miles and I'm not going to be able to go up and come back in the same day, so would it be possible for one of you to put me up for the night?" "Oh no, we can't do that because we don't think that's quite the done thing." I said, "Oh right." So there's no fee. I'll have to go up there under my own steam. I'll have to write my own talk and everything, which will take a couple of days. I'll go up and come back the next day. So that's a total of about 4 days I'm losing, I thought, for no fee, no travelling expenses. And with my sort of income as an author, not getting travelling expenses is an insult. So I said, "What exactly is this?" And all of a sudden this lady got very chatty. She said, "Oh, it's a wonderful idea. We're opening second-hand bookshops." I said, "So what you're saying is you want me to travel up under all at my own expense, give a talk at my own expense, pay for somewhere to lodge for the night, and in return you're getting me to open a bookshop which will actually put me out of business?" And she said, "Well, there's no need to be like that." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, I'd never have read any of your books if I didn't discover them in the bookshop." I said, "That's very interesting." I said, "How many of my books have you bought new?" And she said, "None." I said, "Well, that's really not particularly helpful to me then, is it?" I was trying to make the point that it's all very well liking all of my books, but if you're not actively buying new books, then you're not supporting the author. Authors get paid nothing for second-hand book sales. They get paid nothing for any other book sales whatsoever. And nowadays with the internet, of course, there's an awful lot of sites where people simply copy existing books in copyright and give them away for free, which is a terrible thing. But there's nothing really that authors can do about it. So, of course, I've read all of your books, but never bought a new one. I've only bought second-hand, is not the way to endear yourself to an author. Another insult is, "Oh, I'll write a book one day when I've got some time." Some spare time, a little bit of time. Yes, because of course knocking off a novel takes no time at all. There's no training involved, is it? If you're talking to someone like a lawyer as an author, and and the lawyer says, yes, I'm a solicitor, they wouldn't be particularly impressed if the author said, oh yes, I fancied dabbling in the law a bit once I'd retired and I've got a bit of spare time. Likewise, if you spoke to a plumber and said, yeah, I thought about doing a bit of plumbing and maintaining heating systems when I'm retired and I've got a bit of time. I always had a bit of a hankering for it. It's nice and straightforward work after all. But it's considered that being a professional author somehow is just an easy thing that's quite straightforward. No, it's not. It takes a hell of a lot of time to learn how to write. It takes a very, very long time to learn how to write good, professionally written books that people will want to read. It's not that easy. And then there's the lovely one. You charge a fee? There is a perception that inviting an author to come and give a talk to a group is somehow so kind and generous to the author that they'll be enormously grateful, and obviously I wouldn't dream of charging a fee. It's even worse than that now, because there are so many literary festivals where authors turn up and literally they don't get paid anything at all. I once went down to Dartington and I was absolutely horrified after spending, must have been a week writing a really good talk and then losing another day or two finalising everything, sorting out arrangements and driving down there and giving this talk to a packed audience. There was 120 odd people in this room. It went very, very well. Each of the members of the audience had paid £7 or so, so the organisers made a lot of money out of me, and there was no fee, there were no travelling expenses. The only thing that I did receive at the end as a form of gratitude was a bottle of fizzy wine, and it was not good fizzy wine, and that actually was more of an insult than anything else. It's a very strange thing. You go to a literary festival nowadays and they are big profit making ventures. You get a lot of people going to them, and yet the people are paying to attend. There'll be security staff and safety staff, they'll be paid. There'll be cafe staff, they'll be paid. There'll be cleaners, they'll be paid. There'll be people going up on the stage to set up microphones and so on, they'll be paid. Everybody will be paid, apart from the people who bring the public in, the authors. It is ridiculous and iniquitous. But on this matter of do you charge a fee, I was recently, well, not that recently, but some years ago I was asked to go and give a talk to a Probus group. Now Probus in England, for those in America, is professional business, probus. And it's basically groups of retired gentlemen and ladies who want to have something to do rather than just sitting at home watching particularly dreadful daytime TV. So they go to little lunch sessions and have pleasant meetings. Now these are generally retired lawyers, bank managers, school teachers, all sorts. I was invited to go and give a talk at a Probus club in a wealthy part of Devon, Sidmouth, not a cheap area. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll give you an outline of expenses and what my fee would be. And the fellow asking recoiled in horror. He said, what, you charge a fee? I said, yes. He said, we're all retired. I said, yes. He said, we're a charitable organisation. I said, yes, but I'm not. At the end of the day, I had to try to explain to him, it wasn't particularly easy, but he was retired on a very good pension. I have no pension. I'm a writer. I'm going to have to carry on working through my life. As a writer, you don't get all the benefits of working for a large organisation. When he was a head teacher at a school, I've no doubt, he would have had a secretary or personal assistant to help him with managing his diary. I'm an author. I have none of that sort of benefit, and what I do have is all of my own expenses. And if I go out to give a talk, damn right I'm going to charge a fee, because I've got to support my family and dogs somehow. So there you go. Will I have read your book? Do you write under your own name? I've read all your books, all of them second hand, swearing at me. I'll write a book one day when I've retired, because it's so straightforward. And you charge a fee? Yep. Those are the 5 ones off the top of my head that will be bound to make you an enemy of any writer in the room. But I joke. We're nice, very friendly people, authors, and we do like to get out, so do invite us to go and give talks and so on. And that's about it for now. I just thought I need to get this off my chest, and today I had the camera set up. I thought, right, I'll do it like that. There you go. Hope that didn't insult or offend anyone. As I say, it's intended to be light-hearted, but I've got it off my chest. I feel so much better for that. Thanks very much for watching. Take care. Hound, awake. Hello, Hound. Leave that, you're feeding mutt.